Outrage tonight after a fourth child is diagnosed with cancer at a San Joaquin elementary school, and parents believe it's because of radiation caused by a cell tower at the school.
News tonight, CBS 13's Jen McGraw is live in Ripon with what the school is now saying. Jen?
Yeah, it's become such a point of contention that more than 200 students stayed home from school yesterday in protest, and their parents went before the school board demanding answers and that they take precaution. Cell phone towers are spread throughout the community, but it's this particular one that parents say
usually tell us it's 100% environmental, the type of tumor he has.
Monica Ferruli's son Mason was the second child to be diagnosed with cancer in just 3 years at Weston Elementary. He was 10 years old and walked by this cell phone tower daily.
It's undescribable. It's really tough.
That's one of the hardest things I've been through.
Joe Prime's son Kyle was the first, diagnosed with kidney cancer in 2016, and 2 more kids were diagnosed this year.
It just seems like a coincidence is no longer a reason for all this illness.
They believe it's this cell phone tower that's harming their kids.
These kids shouldn't be guinea pigs, and we shouldn't be taking chances with the children's lives.
Winning the race to be the world's leading provider of 5G cellular communications networks. It's all about 5G now. We were 4G and everybody was saying we have to get 4G. And then they said, before that, we have to get 3G. And now we have to get 5G, and 5G is a big deal, and that's going to be there for a while. And I guess at some point we'll be talking to you about number 6. What do you think? Do you think that's true, Asia? 5G will be as much as 100 times faster than the current 4G cellular networks. It will transform the way our citizens work, learn, communicate, and travel. It'll make American farms more productive, American manufacturing more competitive, and American health care better and more accessible. Basically, it covers almost everything when you get right down to it. Pretty amazing. 5G networks will also create astonishing and really thrilling new opportunities for our people. Opportunities that we've never even thought we had a possibility of looking at. According to some estimates, the wireless industry plans to invest $275 billion in 5G networks. My administration is focused on freeing up as much wireless spectrum as needed. We're going to free it up so they'll be able to get out there and get it done, and removing regulatory barriers to the build-out of networks. As Chairman Pai will discuss with you in a moment, the FCC is taking very bold action. In addition, last October, I directed the Department of Commerce to develop a national spectrum strategy to free up even more spectrum for economic activity, including 5G. It takes too long to get permits. We're going to free that situation up, and we're going to put limits, and the local areas are going to listen to us very, very strongly. They have a big incentive to do that. They must now approve new physical infrastructure within 90 days instead of many years. It can sometimes take 3, 4, and 5 years. We're going to put a limit of 90 days. These changes will contribute greatly to building high-speed networks across America, and it's going to happen very quickly, very, very quickly. As we are making great progress with 5G, we're also focused on rural communities that do not have access to broadband at all. And now what we're doing is we're making it a priority. That's the areas we want to go to first, so they're covered. We're also working closely with federal agencies to get networks built in rural America faster and at much, much lower cost than it is even today. So now I'd like to introduce a very special man who's really worked hard and gained the respect of the world, truly, because they see what we're doing in our country, who'll be making 2 major announcements to accelerate our 5G future and extend broadband access to every American. No matter where you are, you will have access very quickly to 5G, and it's going to be a different life. I don't know that it's going to be better. Maybe you're happy the way it is right now, but I can say technologically it won't even be close. So, Chairman Pai, thank you very much. Please say a few words. Thank you very much, Asia.
Well, thank you, Mr. President, for your compelling vision of U.S. leadership on 5G. America must win the race to 5G, the next generation of wireless connectivity. We want these technologies to give our economy a leg up as we compete against the rest of the world. The second reason U.S. leadership matters is that 5G will improve Americans' lives in so many ways. From precision agriculture to smart transportation networks to telemedicine and more. We want Americans to be the first to benefit from this new digital revolution. And as you pointed out, Mr. President, we don't want rural Americans to be left behind. Mr. President, that's why I'm pleased to report that America is now well positioned to win the race to fast, secure, and reliable 5G. Well, how are we getting the job done? As the lead agency on 5G, the FCC is pursuing a three-part strategy called the 5G Fast Plan. First, we're freeing up spectrum, the invisible airwaves that carry wireless traffic. We finished our first 5G spectrum auction in January, and we're holding a second right now that has already generated almost $2 billion in bids. Second, we're making it easier to install wireless infrastructure. 5G will rely heavily on a web of small antennas. But when I came into office, regulations designed for tall towers threatened to strangle our 5G future in red tape. We have eliminated these rules because infrastructure the size of a pizza box shouldn't have to jump through the same regulatory hoops as a 200-foot cell tower. But in the race to 5G, our early success is still early. We still need to do more, and we will. The FCC intends to start its third 5G spectrum auction on December 10th of this year. This will be the largest spectrum auction in American history. We will be selling 3,400 megahertz in 3 different bands. And for those of you who aren't wireless experts, that is a lot of spectrum. Second, to help build the infrastructure of the future, the FCC aims to create a $20.4 billion Rural Digital Opportunity Fund headed by the agency. This money will extend high-speed broadband to up to 4 million homes and small businesses in rural America. This FCC will help build a great and lasting legacy of American success on 5G. Thank you, Mr. President.
And 5G is the future. And so I think everyone in this room feels very comfortable to know it's in your very capable hands.
Mr. President, Chairman Pai, on behalf of the National Association of Tower Rectors, our 900-member companies, we build, deploy, and maintain the wireless infrastructure of this nation. And y'all fixing to put us to work. We appreciate it.
And your people do an incredible job, Jimmy. Thank you very much. What a great job. And they go up high. It's going to be a great, great thing.
Mr. President,
yeah.
Can you tell us your plans about sanctuary cities and illegal miners? Can you tweet about?
The big game changer is that 5G will use much higher frequency bands than previously thought viable for mobile broadband and other applications. Such millimeter wave signals have physical properties that are both a limitation and a strength. They tend to travel best in narrow and straight lines, and they do not go through physical objects as well. But brilliant engineers have developed new antennas that can aim and amplify signals. Now, to make this work, the 5G build-out is going to be very infrastructure intensive, requiring massive deployment of small cells. I'm confident that the actions will lead to a cornucopia of unanticipated, innovative uses and will generate tens of billions of dollars in economic activity. And that's damn important because it means that U.S. companies will be the first out of the gate. And that is why 5G is a national priority and stay out of the way of technological development. Unlike some countries, we do not believe that we should spend the next couple of years studying what 5G should be or how it should operate. The future has a way of inventing itself. Turning innovators loose is far preferable to expecting committees and regulators to define the future. We won't wait for the standards. We're already seeing the industry gearing up to seize this opportunity. Verizon and AT&T tell us they'll begin deploying 5G trials in 2017, and the first commercial deployments they're talking about are expected in 2020. And we're not done. As part of our July 14 action, we also plan to ask for comments on opening up other high-frequency bands. Many of the high-frequency bands that we will make available for 5G currently have some satellite users, as well as some Defense Department applications, or at least the possibility of future satellite and defense users. This means sharing will be required between satellite and terrestrial wireless, an issue that is especially relevant in the 28 gigahertz band. But if anyone tells you that they know the details of what 5G is going to become, run the other way. If something can be connected, it will be connected. Hundreds of billions of microchips connected in products from pill bottles to plant waterers. We must reject the notion that the 5G future will be the sole provenance of urban areas. The 5G revolution will touch all corners of our country. A lot more antenna siting decisions by local governments, and tightened our shot clock for siting application reviews. America's local governments will play an important role in determining how we fulfill this national priority. You can be sure of only one thing. The biggest Internet of Things application has yet to be imagined. Tens of billions of dollars in economic activity. And that's damn important.
First and foremost is densification. So it's significantly more transmitters in close proximity to a human, and it is also a sophisticated, illegal, unlawful transmitter. What I mean by that is it is a high gain dielectric lens antenna, and what that allows 5G transmitters to do is to 3D map its environment in your home. The 868 megahertz frequency is specific for battlefield interrogation systems, so sub-gigahertz. It allows the signal to travel through concrete brickwork with ease, and it can actually data gather. It is a target acquiring system. Phased array is basically radar off the battlefield. It is extremely good at identifying targets and being able to lock onto targets. And not only that, it can specifically target you as an individual. So any judge sitting on an interesting case, let's say, any lawyer, any barrister, anybody doing any work that is potentially controversial, your life could be at threat.
So the connection between chemtrails and 5G?
It's all interconnected. The metallized particulates, that would allow the 5G phased array, so basically the radar, that would allow it to be able to identify you, so it can watch you, it can identify you in your own home 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
For the last X amount of years, we've been through chemtrailing, and that is now the cat is out of the box. We've had these nanoparticulates raining down on humanity for years now, impregnating our bodies, by best account staying inside our bodies. Those nanoparticulates, what you're saying, are building up a kind of a phosphorescence glow capability, so that we can be flagged up in our homes, behind concrete and steel, inside bunkers, in the basement, doesn't matter where you are. The 5G will be able to now triangulate, map and read you, because you as a living being are impregnated with these nanoparticulates, which are acting as a kind of transmission and reception technology.
It's exactly, absolutely exactly.